Yes, you. Welcome to the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast, a podcast for people who want to disrupt their lives for a good reason, to make it count. I'm your host, Jen Glantz, and every week I'll drop a new episode with stories from real people just like you, who woke up one morning and decided to make big changes, starting with small things. We'll cover topics like entrepreneurship, love, failure, and self-care. Hey, you're not getting any younger, so let's make this an adventure. Ready? This week's episode is sponsored by Jen Glantz's 90-day challenge starting today, April 12th. Get your 2021 back on track with a clear purpose, actionable to-do list, and weekly challenges that will push you even closer toward your goals. The 90-day challenge is a weekly strategy and accountability program. What does it look like inside? Well, very first thing you get are weekly challenges, assignments, video inspiration, a workbook. You also get real-time feedback every single week and coaching along the way. There are group coaching sessions, individual coaching sessions, and a community. You get a community of people who are working hard toward something. So if you feel like your 2021 isn't really going how you wanted it to, or you just need someone to hold you accountable and help you strategize your life, the 90-day challenge is for you. Grab a spot because it starts today and enrollment closes today. So get on it, watch the link right below, and I hope to see you inside the challenge. All my love, Jen Glantz. Hey, any youngers, it's me, your host, Jen Glantz. Welcome back to another episode of the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast. I am so excited that you are here on this wonderful April day. April is my favorite month of the year, and yes, it is because my birthday is in the month of April, but I also just love how things change in our lives in April. It feels like so much changes, not only because of the season changing and the weather changing, but we get the choice to make a new lease on life and an outlook on life. And a lot of that happens just because we realize that, hey, we're done with a chunk of the year. There is a chunk of the year we've lived, we'll never get back. And when we look at it that way, we start to think long and hard about how the year is going for us so far. So think about it. We've lived through 3 months of 2021. Can you believe it? Now, for a lot of us, we don't think about things like this until it's too late in the year, until it's December and we're making resolutions for the next year when we haven't even addressed this year. I like to break my years up into 90-day chunks. That way, I'm able to stay in control, I'm able to make progress, and I'm able to pivot. My first 90 days, well, I entered the year feeling super pumped up. I honestly felt like I had drank 6 cups of caffeine and coffee and made my schedule for the 90 days. I didn't realize it until now that I completely overprogrammed my 90 days. I put so much on that to-do list that it would have taken me, no joke, 90 years to get it all done, but I didn't realize that until the end of the 90 days when I started to see that there were a couple of major projects that I didn't even have the capacity to start. So while my first theme of the first 90 days was go, 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 my theme of this next 90 days is to slow down a little bit more and focus on just a couple of things. Now, you all know me decently well. I'm somebody who doesn't just do one thing. I do 15 things at once, and I love those things dearly, and I try to do them as best as I can. But that becomes super hard because then you're splitting your time, your focus, and inevitably something's going to slip away. That's why I'm approaching my next 90 days with that one big fix of putting less on the to-do list and staying more focused. Now, I only realized that because I planned out my 90 days based on my 2021 goals, and throughout that time, I was looking at my progress, looking at how I was doing, and making sure that I was able to say, okay, here's what's working and here's what's not working for me. April is the month where my next 90 days start. So what I do is I take a look back on the first 90 days of the year, and I start to pre-plan what I'm going to do next. So I want to share something with you. And this is a quote that a workout trainer always says. I take the same workout trainer's class pretty much every single day. And this is a quote that I always hear her say. She says, how you do anything is how you do everything. I know that's something maybe that sounds cliche or you've heard it before, but it just feels so true. And usually when she says this quote, I had already given up on the workout. I had dropped the weights, she's doing squats, I'm lying on the yoga mat, and I hear that quote and I just want to push myself even harder, because I remember how we do the little things in life is truly how we do everything. Watch yourself when you're folding laundry, when you're cooking, when you're doing small everyday tasks around the house. How you do them is how you do everything else. And when you start to realize that and notice that, you find out a lot of qualities about yourself. For example, number one, I know I am very stubborn. So I know that I always make things extra hard for myself. How I do anything is how I do everything, and I do everything in a stubborn way. I also know that I'm the kind of person who rushes through things. I rush through the workout. I rush through folding laundry. I rush through cooking, which is why none of my recipes ever work out. And that's how I do anything, is usually rushing, because I am the kind of person who lives life like it's ending tomorrow. That is just the spirit, my soul, who I am. That's the energy that I just wake up with in the morning. And it's a blessing and a curse, but I know that about myself. So why I'm telling you this is because how we start the year is how we live the rest of the year if we don't pause, take inventory, and pivot. And what I want you to start to think about is, how did you start 2021 so far? Listening to this podcast episode in your ears right now is forcing you to stop and think about how you spent your first chunk of 2021, because it's over, it's done, it's in the past. So how was it for you? What are the things that worked well for you? What are you proud of? And you can't say nothing, because we've lived 90 days of this year so far, more than that. There's many things you're proud of. You should be collecting those like treasure in a treasure chest. What are you proud of from the first 90 days? What did you accomplish? What did you do that was out of your comfort zone? What made you feel proud again and hopeful again and inspired again? What were the new habits you put into your life that you just adore? What were the things that made you so happy in the first chunk of the year? On the flip side, my friend, what are the things that you picked up as a habit that you want to drop? What are the things you never were able to get started on? What are the goals you forgot about? What are the things you've been putting off? What are the negative self-talk things you say to yourself? What are some of these things? What are the activities you've done that you never want to do again, or the behaviors you have that you want to stop doing? I want you to think about these things too. Now, in my 90-day challenge that starts today, and I hope you'll join us, in that challenge, one of the very first things I have people do is something called the Circle Star Game. Go through your first 3 months of the year and put a circle around anything you want to change, anything you wish you did different, anything that you want to create a boundary moving forward. For example, I had one person put a circle around the fact that they do not want to do Zoom meetings unless they have to be Zoom meetings. They circled that. They had too many Zoom meetings in the first 90 days, and going forward, a phone call will do. It doesn't always have to be a Zoom video call. That's a circle. So circle the things that you're not happy about, maybe that you didn't get started on, or even the things you want to create as boundaries. And then create a star around the things you're proud of. What were the things that worked well for you? What were the things you're happy about? Having this mapped out in the circle square kind of way will allow you to sort of look back on those 90 days and really feel them. If you don't do this, if you just let time go by, the year ends, then it's 2022 and you're the same person with the same problems, with the same things, and nothing changes. Let's change something for you. Now, we can talk all day long about setting goals and figuring out your next 90 days, but I don't even want to go there right now. I just want you to look back at how the year has been so far, because how you do anything is how you do everything. So how have you been doing 2021? I mentioned how I've been doing it in a very overwhelming way that almost feels impossible, and playing into who I am in a very stubborn and rushed way as well. But forcing myself to know that, to look at that, and to plan something different now for the next 90 days allows me to grow as a human being and change and evolve and get closer to some of the things I want and further away from the things I don't. So I challenge you, my dear listeners, my dear friends, as we move into the next 90 days of our life together in this 2021, because you're not getting any younger, to circle the things you want to stop, to circle the things you want to change, to circle the things that didn't serve you, that you now want to put a boundary up for, and to star the things you're proud of, the things you accomplished, the things you did, the things you were scared of that now you love, the things that you fought for that now you got, the things that you worked hard for that now you made progress on. That right there is how you take inventory on the start of your year. I'm cheering you on. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. You can email me always and forever, jenglance@gmail.com. Also, come hang out with me on social media @jenglance, @AnyYounger. And please come hang out in the secret You're Not Getting Any Younger Facebook group. I truly hope to see you there. Until next time, all my love, Jen Glantz. Hey you! Thank you for listening to the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast. There are hundreds of thousands of pods out there, so thank you for listening to this one. You can find the show notes for this week's episode up on our website, AnyYounger.com. Subscribe, rate, and review the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast on iTunes so that other ears around the world can listen too. Oh, and join our secret You're Not Getting Any Younger Facebook group, where over 1,000 people are talking about how to disrupt their lives. For a good reason, to make it count. Until next week, all my love, Jen Glantz.